going on, guys? As always, I'm LCU, and today we're going to be starting what will be my most sentimental marathon on this channel. I don't care if I hit 1 million followers, multi-million views and likes, no videos will ever mean more to me than these right here. So without further ado, let's start talking about the Rocky franchise, starting with the first film, of course. Before I dive into the ins and the outs of these films, let me give you a bit of insight from my love for these films. If you don't want to hear me ramble about this or the upcoming behind-the-scenes nuggets that I found, skip to this timestamp. Hopefully I remember to edit it in, but without further ado, here we go. Growing up, I didn't come from the richest family. We weren't poor, but I had what I needed, and that's just it. I had what I needed. At my dad's house, I grew up in a split home, of course. I had an old treasure chest looking television that you could walk up to and turn the dial to change the channel, and I had about 12 channels altogether. But with that television, I had a VHS player. I don't have many VHS tapes, but I did have A Bronx Tale, which is my second favorite movie of all time, as well as Rocky 1 through 5. Growing up a film fan, all I wanted to do was watch Rocky. I'd live, sleep, and eat Rocky, constantly rewatching these films over and over and over again. I would wake up every day and watch them, go eat, come back and watch them, take a shower, come back and watch them, go to the bathroom, come back and watch them. You get the point. It was basically my personality to the point a lot of people around the area knew me as the Rocky guy. I have probably seen these 5 films more times than anyone's gone to the bathroom in their life, and that's not even a joke. It was sick at one point. I can recite these 5 films word for word without a hiccup. It's quite crazy. Watching these films nowadays, I still tear up nearly every single time I watch them because they're so near and dear to my heart. They got me through a lot of tough times, not just as a kid, but also as an adult. Now, without further ado, with my speech out of the way, let's start talking about Rocky. There is more to this film than just a great story with great writing and amazing characters. It comes with a lot of behind-the-scenes baggage. As we all probably know by now, Sylvester Stallone is the creator and the writer of this film, but it wasn't as easy as sitting down and jotting down ideas. Sly goes through some of the most brutal challenges a person can go through to get this film onto the big screen. In his younger days, Sly was broke and homeless looking for a shot. He came up with the idea of Rocky and knew he struck gold. He was able to construct meetings with meaningful studios, which a lot of them were interested in the film, but there was one caveat. Sly wanted to be the star in the film, but the studio had other ideas. Some of these studios offered him hundreds of thousands of dollars, which in today's time is damn near $1 million for the script without Sly in the picture. But Stallone didn't want to give up the rights to it. He was determined to play this role and bring his work of art to life. Stallone was so down at one point, he had to sell the one thing that meant everything to him, his dog, just so he can finally eat. Finally, United Artists Studios was able to grant him his wish of playing the character of Rocky, so Stallone accepted the deal and went off and bought his dog for nearly 10 times the amount of money he sold him for. It's a very, very lovely story. A few nuggets of information I also found was Stallone was in the crowd, or at least heard about the Muhammad Ali-Chuck Wepner fight, and that's what struck the inspiration for the movie Rocky. A lot of people either think this film comes from either nothing, or is about Rocky Marciano, considering the name Rocky, as he's shown and mentioned in the film a few times as well, but it's loosely based off the Ali-Chuck Wepner fight. A few more pieces that I found was that Rocky's extras were completely improvised, like when he was running in the third act and the street salesman threw him an orange, they didn't know they were in a movie, so it just worked out perfectly well. The last piece, before I lose you all, when Rocky notices the poster was wrong and called out Mr. Jurgensen about it, the poster was actually wrong by the props director, so Sly improvised that line, as well as the line being about his robe being too baggy, because the prop director, again, messed up and made the robe 9 times too large. How do you screw up that bad? Now, with the background out of the way, let's dive into the story. Not just to me, Rocky is one of the most celebrated films of all time. It holds its value tremendously, as well as holding its rewatch value, feeling like a complete film, which is one of the better aspects of the film. Although this film has an amazing story with such grounding messages to latch onto, it's more of a character study at the end of the day. At its core, we all know Rocky as a boxing movie, but the boxing could be seen as a mere subplot because of all the groundbreaking and moving character development, particularly the love story between Rocky and Adrian, Talia Shire. This film conveys powerful messages such as that competing isn't always about winning, but about proving to oneself. It also emphasizes that the size, strength, or intelligence aren't prerequisites of success. Hard work and dedication can accomplish anything. Moreover, it teaches the importance of getting back up after setbacks. Because of all these messages, this film is extremely relatable to anybody on this planet. The plot at face value may not make much sense or be realistic with an underground no-name boxer getting a chance at the heavyweight title, but it works to help establish all these beautiful messages. As a narrative, it's very tight and cohesive, where everything lines up with each other, including countless, and I mean countless great scenes to where it's almost impossible to choose which one's the best. You got the "I want to know how come" scene between Rocky and Mickey, Rocky and Adrian on their first date, Rocky talking about going the distance, the actual boxing match, but to me, perhaps the best scene is when Mickey comes to talk about Rocky about being his manager. It is incredibly moving and showcases Sylvester Stallone's great acting prowess. The final part of the narrative that I found particularly noteworthy is how it highlights the life of a fighter. They highlighted the mental challenges they face, the physical training and what it does to your body, the distractions caused by external noises, and the actual fight itself. Stallone and John G. Avildsen were truly attuned to the essence of the sport. From a character perspective, this film is one of the few that gave birth to that authentic underdog story. Although it may or may not have been the first film to do it, it certainly popularized the message and resonated with everyone and made it relatable. Rocky is an unorthodox fighter, but he's also an unorthodox protagonist, bringing a lot of heart and realism to the character. It's so easy to root for him because he's a well-developed and multifaceted character. He's a down-on-his-luck boxer working a dead-end job as a leg breaker while also fighting for scraps on the side. However, he fights for such little because he loves it and believes he's only good at that one thing. Rocky wants to be more than a product of his environment, although he fully embodies that style, but to contrast with that, he is truly a gentle, kind, and nice man that passes wisdom to anyone that will listen. To contrast with that tough exterior, Rocky's a compassionate and caring individual who wants to help others and do what's right. Unlike the typical hard-nosed boxer style, he's not a big, burly, tough guy. He generally wants to make a positive difference. Sylvester Stallone's raw acting brings a grounding element to the character, making him easy to connect with. He's extremely charming and funny, having so many memorable lines, but with him being so goofy at times, he still truly shines as a great actor in most moments. It really comes down to the little things that really enhance his character to new heights. His demeanor, his mannerisms, his dialect, and his swagger all contribute to his portrayal, which also doubles for a down-and-out boxer. They very easily could have casted an Oscar-worthy talent, but this one truly would not have been as good or even the same without him, where, for me, Sly is one of few actors that truly trademarks this role. We've seen reincarnations of iconic characters like Spider-Man, the Joker, and James Bond, but nobody can fill the shoes of Sylvester Stallone as Rocky. This film is great because of Sly, but he definitely couldn't do it on his own, and that comes from the help from a fantastic supporting cast from Talia Shire, Burt Young, Burgess Meredith, Carl Weathers, and many more. The creators do such a great job blending and balancing all these characters perfectly to complement Rocky. Adrian, another key part to the film's success, is portrayed as a quiet, reserved individual, yet she possesses a profound love, charisma, supportiveness, and wit. She embodies all the qualities one would desire in a love interest, although their relationship is anything but ordinary. This film almost doubles as a love story, which I kind of see it as a Valentine's Day movie in some lights, highlighting the depth and emotional connection between Rocky and Adrian. After the boxing match concludes, you don't even care about the result. You just want to see where she is, how she is, and where these two are going to end up, which also builds into one of the best moments of the film. The creators massively weave a bond between Rocky and Adrian, creating a truly beautiful and natural connection. They accept each other for who they are, providing unwavering support regardless of their differences, no matter what. Their chemistry is just effortless, even considering their polar opposite personalities. Watching them interact evokes a sense of joy and rooting for their success. Ultimately, their relationship brings out the best in each other, showcasing their individual growth as well as their growth as a couple. Burt Young's portrayal as Paulie is equally noteworthy, although his character can easily be misconstrued. While Paulie is undoubtedly a loser, alcoholic, aggressive, and persistent, he plays a crucial role in bringing Rocky and Adrian together, complementing both characters really well. He serves as this almost mediator, bridging the gap between them. However, this character goes beyond this role. He is Rocky's best friend, although he isn't too friendly, of course, and Adrian's brother, which adds depth to the character. Despite being rough around all edges, marked by jealousy and selfishness, there's a reason behind his behavior. He feels constantly mistreated and disrespected by the people around him, feeling as if he's constantly been dealt a bad hand in life, feeling like he's been kicked around by the people around him. Another well-established character is Burgess Meredith as Mickey. In short, he perfectly embodies an old-school boxing trainer. He's harsh, he's blunt, but he knows how to motivate his fighters and cares deeply for them, as evident in the scene where he offers his management services to Rocky. He shares such a great dynamic with Rocky that only gets better as the franchise goes on. Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed is another notable character. While he's well received by the Rocky fan base, he almost gets sidelined a bit because the film isn't solely about the boxing. However, they effectively portray his overconfidence and disregard for Rocky. As mentioned, this is meant to be a loose interpretation of Muhammad Ali, and Carl Weathers delivers an exceptional performance, dare I say, even surpassing Will Smith's portrayal of Ali, which is intended to be a direct representation. Now, let's move on to the script, and to me, it's even richer than all the money this film has made. Sylvester Stallone's writing infuses the film with so much heart, especially with him at the helm knowing exactly what it needs and how these lines need to be presented. Perhaps my bias stems from repeated viewings, but the film is incredibly memorable and quotable, particularly the Rocky character. It's witty and quick-minded, but not in a loud manner, as the humor is delivered very dryly. Stallone massively conveys these messages and scenes through gripping dialogue and visual cues, making this a timeless classic. Another remarkable and significant achievement of this film is its cinematography, which earned this prestigious award for Best Picture. The film's visual style is intentionally raw and grainy, yet effectively immerses the audience in the action. The environment and the color palette play a crucial role in setting the tone, creating a gritty and authentic atmosphere. The film's unique shooting and editing techniques, which also won an award, contribute to its distinctive personality. The box sequence stands out as a visual masterpiece. Instead of relying solely on reverse shots of the boxers looking and throwing punches, the cinematography employs a variety of angles, including ringside views from underneath the ropes, wide takes of the action, close-ups capturing the blood and the sweat, shots of the corners in the crowd, and even real-time footage of a live boxing crowd. These diverse shots create a breathtaking and an immersive experience. The cinematography also effectively portrays the rundown appearance of Philadelphia, the gym, and the housing, enhancing the film's grime and oppressive tone through the use of muted and gloomy colors. Moving back to the boxing itself, the action is nothing short of tremendous. Although the actual boxing may seem limited, the filmmakers managed to achieve an incredible level of intensity and authenticity in such a short span of time. The boxing matches are portrayed as violent yet controlled, capturing the essence of a true boxing bout. The choreography of the action scenes is impeccable, as well as the memorable training sequences, which had become synonymous with the film, further enhancing its impact. The score and the soundtrack play a pivotal role in elevating the film's emotional impact, especially during the action. The piano score, which often accompanies the saddened moments, is complemented by the well-known trumpet score, which adds a sense of excitement and anticipation. The music effectively stirs the emotions and motivates the audience to embark on their own training journeys, which, who watches Rocky and doesn't want to go out and train after? It's magnificent. As for my negatives, I don't have any. This film is perfect. Now, if I'm being completely transparent, you can nitpick tiny things like maybe some dislikes with certain characters and their acting, or some technical errors here and there, like between round 11 and 12, where they squirt the blood on his face. I thought that was funny how they didn't cut that out. But all of it gets washed away if you're able to soak yourself into this masterpiece of a film. Rocky gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Let me know what you think about Rocky in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Rocky 2. See you guys in the next one.